I just had a long weekend. I was working all weekend and I'm tired and my voice is shot. I'm getting over being sick. However, I was just like winding down, having a late dinner after, I got off late at a shift at work. And I was sitting here and watching some like YouTube stuff. I've been trying to keep up with some political stuff. So listening to a channel that I like, and then I saw in my recommended videos it's the video of Jennie, who is a K-pop idol. She's from Blackpink, the group, a group I've mentioned before. Um, but it's a video. She also has solo stuff. Again, if you don't understand K-pop, which I'm going to assume that most people don't, the artists will be in groups together, but they'll also go off and do their own solo stuff and come back together. It's not like if someone wants to do solo stuff, they're like done with the group. Kind of like, in the 90s and stuff with groups like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, there was drama with people wanting to go solo. Anyway, so Jennie, my cat is on the counter because I'm in the kitchen today. Anyway, so Jennie, all the girls in Blackpink have done their own solo work, and some of it I like, some of it I don't like as much. It can be kind of a toss-up, but Jennie is my favorite it girl in pop culture right now. There's just something about her vibe that is so cool, and I know cool is, I was trying to talk about it before in another video, cool is such an ephemeral idea. So it's cool to me. It may not be cool to other people, but there's just this understated, like, it's so confident. It's so just um, I think of someone like Sabrina Carpenter being very theatrical. Jennie is just very like laid back, chill. Another thing about K-pop is that you don't get to know the artists very well as people in the same way that you do with Western artists, which is really interesting. And especially with Blackpink as a group, the girls, especially like in the latter part of their time in the industry, the past like 5 years, have really been about exclusivity. So, a lot of fans have been kind of annoyed that they're not releasing as frequently as other groups, but that's a very important part of their sort of marketing strategy of like the scarcity of them is very important. Anyway, so I really love Jennie. She's my favorite. In K-pop, you call it a bias. She's my bias, for sure. And it's funny because her sort of nickname is the villain of K-pop, which is funny because there's all this culture. Again, I'm talking about K-pop again, telling you about the industry. There's all this culture of like people will really scrutinize every single performance. They will watch every available angle of every performance. They will want to keep up with the girls on tour, kind of like we were seeing in the West. I don't know if it's the first time, but it's the first time that I'm aware of it with the Eras tour. The way that people were really keeping tabs on Taylor Swift every single show and scrutinizing everything and seeing what she was doing differently, what she was doing the same, that new out. Like I had a friend who was in a group that they had like a pool to like not bet on, but like kind of guess which outfits Taylor was going to wear every night, which is fascinating to me. So anyway, with Blackpink, they're all about scarcity, and there's this sort of like exclusivity about them that has made their brand really big, and has done very well as a group and as individuals, which is really interesting. But Jennie's my favorite, and she had a solo album. I think it was last year it came out. I think it's called Ruby because that's her middle name, which is cute. I also just love like the whole aesthetic. It's very like red and black, very like, again, more minimal, more like understated. Because Rose, who's another one of the girls in the group, is a real like singer-songwriter type, and so her solo stuff has been very singer-songwritery, which I also like. But Jennie has maintained this like mystique about her. So yeah, when I talk about the villain of K-pop thing, people really don't like her. I mean, people love her, but there's also a lot of people who don't like her because they say she's a lazy dancer and she doesn't try hard with like the group stuff. And there was a period of time earlier on in Blackpink's tenure where she was injured a lot, or like, you know, sometimes missing from some things, and people would question like her dedication to the group and stuff. So anyway, she's kind of like, the thing about Jennie is that she is the trendsetter. There's a very famous instance when her first solo thing came out, and she did a performance of it at the, it's, I think it's MMA is the acronym for the award show. I don't actually know the full name of it, and I should, but it's the like huge award show, the Asian Music Awards, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's see if I can make this work. This is so exciting. I'm about to make, I believe, what is about to be the first edit of my YouTube channel, which is I accidentally clicked out of this window when I was looking at something and I stopped the recording by mistake. So if you're watching this, it means that I have successfully cut the two videos together and have uploaded them as one, which I'm not entirely unfamiliar with video editing. I used to use iMovie when I was a kid and make little things with it, but it's been a while. So again, if you're watching this, I have figured out what I'm doing with this, which great. Thanks, Microsoft Clipchamp. So we will see if I can get a little bit more into the editing thing. But this is a nice way to break the seal. There we go, because I did not want to start recording again from that point. Anyway, so I was talking about, I think it was like around 2016 probably is when Jennie did her first solo thing. And she was also the first girl of Blackpink who got her own solo stuff, which was very controversial at the time because everybody's like, there's so much favoritism in the group, and YG, which is their like parent company, likes Jennie the most and gives her special treatment, which that discourse is also ongoing to this day. Anyway, it's all falling under the villain of K-pop umbrella. But the thing about Jennie is that even though she can be controversial in the industry, she has this it factor that is so undeniable, and she really pulls focus, and people love her, myself included, obviously, because I'm making a whole video about it when I should be in bed. So anyway, there was, when she did her solo performance in like 2016, I think it was, she had these hair clips in her hair, just like these little barrettes, and then there was like this whole big thing where the barrettes became a huge trend over like the next year, and everybody traced it back to that performance with Jennie specifically. So she's a real trendsetter, especially in Korea and I believe some of the other Asian countries. She's a big deal over there and they love her. And the Western world is starting to catch on to her more, which is great. I think she's fantastic. She almost couldn't be more famous. Like, she's really getting there, which, like, it's an interesting thing. Fame is an end goal and something to aspire to. I think is something that I want to break down further at another time because that's really interesting. But anyway, so now she is doing more promotion for her solo album that came out this past year. And I think it was her first solo album completely by herself. And there's a lot of really fun music on it. If you like pop, I would recommend checking it out. Obviously, because I love her. But one song, like Jennie, like really blew up and has been huge. And the live performances of it are super fun. And the choreography is great. So all of this preamble to say, I finally watched, I watched the performance the other night. I think it was high, so I don't remember a lot. I'll have to go back and watch it again. But the one that I watched tonight is the rehearsal that she did of this particular performance at the MMA Awards. I don't know if it was like last week or a couple weeks ago. I haven't been keeping close tabs on this stuff, but it comes on my feed a lot. So I want to check it out, you know? So anyway, I watched the rehearsal video of Jennie doing the performance of this. So she does a couple different songs from this album that came out last year. She does one called Zen. I think there might be another one in there. Again, I could just check, but I'm too lazy. And then she ends with Like Jennie, which is the song that blew up really big. And the whole performance is over 8 minutes long. And I think she has like 100. It's not 100. It's got to be at least 50 people, though. I was trying to gauge it looking at it, and I can't, just by eyeing it, figure out how many people there were with her. But a lot of fucking people is my point. And it just really strikes me. It's just something that I find so cool and so interesting. And I was talking to someone recently about my love of games, and I've worked in the video game industry for my entire adult career, which is just a cool, very cool thing, and I'm very thankful for it. And I have taken it for granted, but I'm trying not to take it for granted so much. But anyway, but I was talking about how much there's a really great quote from a game dev who gave a talk at GDC, which is the Game Developers Conference in 2014. And I will go back and find the actual credit of the quote and put it in the description when I'm done with this. But the point I'm trying to make in this moment is that he had a really great quote about the fact that games are the marriage of the technical and the artistic. And games are everything. Making a game, again, I'm paraphrasing, is everything that's hard about building a bridge and composing a symphony. Games are symphonies made of bridges. And I just thought that was such a beautiful quote, and I think speaks to really my fascination, a lot of my fascination with the industry, because it's such a technical feat to make any kind of software work, but also to have it convey an artistic experience convincingly and in a way that's moving to people it's fascinating to me. It's so cool. And I know there's a lot of that with TV and film and other media in general. But games have a lot of just really, really cool technical stuff. Anyway, so when I look at a performance like this that Jennie is doing, that is 8 minutes long, and it is, I mean, she's dancing almost the entire time. She has all of these people around her dancing. And they're in this huge warehouse and it's just empty. And again, the stage performance is so cool and they've got all the lights and, you know, all the whatever. But seeing them just do it in this black box of an empty warehouse with all of these people is just, I love it because you can really see what everybody's doing without all the fog and the lights and stuff. Because the reason I brought up the games thing is that I love dance and I love performance and I love, you know, musical, like live theater, like musicals especially, and dance performance, all of that, for the exact same reasons I've talked about why I love games. Because when you have that many people, there's a sense of scale that's so cool. Like, again, so many people, there's a real sense of like levels and layers, and like there's a choreographer who has to take, you know, dozens of people and have them all move together and create different shapes. And so there's so much creativity and artistry that goes into that. But when I talk about the technical too, these people are athletes and they have to train like athletes. It's the same thing with professional ballerinas. You know, you could even in some ways say this about professional musicians as well. When, you know, like a drummer, that's a really physically demanding job. So you're focusing on the artistic and the technical at the same time. And that marriage is really beautiful to me. So it's just it's just a cool look into the rehearsal process. And again, it's stripped bare and you can really see all of the movements and the way that they're like, all the dancers are weaving in and out of each other and creating different shapes. And of course, they're all serving every single one of them. They're just going for it. And they're so good at what they do. And the other thing that I thought about when I was watching this video was that this is what they want to take away from us with AI. And I know that's a very dramatic statement. Like they want to take it away from us. But again, like being around people who loved AI and then their reasoning was like, well, why would, you know, we put all these people through all this effort when we could just have a computer do it? I look at, and it's the same thing with film and TV and theater, and I mean, every art form, you look at all of those people that are in this room with this, you know, this K-pop idol, and she's such a big deal and all of that. And every single one of those people is being paid to be there. They are making a living engaging with their art form and their craft. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. I mean, all the people behind the camera, all the people who are figuring out wardrobe and figuring out the lights on the stage, and the choreographers, obviously all the dancers, those are all people who are able to make a living doing something that they love artistically, um, because we like to see these big spectacle performances at these award shows, and I enjoy them every single time. I love people rehearsing something so extensively and seeing all the work that they put into it, and that you walk away and I go, wow, what a fantastic pop performance that you've given me. You've invigorated me, you've made me excited about this art form and about being able to enjoy what you've done. Like, to me, it's such a shame to say it's just better if a computer does all of those things, because that those people are, making their living and making their way as artists, and that's something I really value, is just art and our ability to make it and engage with it and all of those things. So I know I have a very, particular set of values when it comes to that, but yeah. And I just think about, like, when I was a kid, I did a little bit of everything. I did cheerleading, and I did dance, and I did theater, and I did choir and horseback riding and all of those things, but especially the things that I did that involved that type of performance, like dance or theater. Like, it's just such a cool, like, it's challenging you in so many different ways because you're trying to convey a certain emotional experience for someone, while at the same time, or for yourself or whatever, while at the same time, like, it demanding things from you physically. That's something I love about dance, just as a recreational activity now, like as an adult. And I loved, when I was doing it as a kid too, but the fact that it's like, if I'm trying to learn choreography and remember it and do it in the right sequence, and then also add my own, personal style onto it or whatever, it's like trying to solve a puzzle in your head, while at the same time you're working your body, and you can feel your blood pumping and you're breathing hard, and having all of that going on at the same time, and your sort of mind and body being together, moving towards the same goals, a really cool thing. I think I really enjoy that. So when I watch these rehearsals and performances, I think back to the times in my life where I did something similar, and I remember the camaraderie and the relationships. Again, I think I'll talk more about this at length at some point too, but I really think we are animals, and we forget that because we like to think that we're so advanced, and we live in houses that have air conditioning. So we're we've moved past this. We have technology, we have social media, we have AI, right? But I'm a big believer in the fact that we are animals, and we are meant to be in nature, and we are meant to be around other humans, because we evolved like that for millions of years, billions of years, and then suddenly we just ripped that away from ourselves and each other. Anyway, not to get too into that, but anyway, so I think about being in the room with people and working towards a common goal, and relying on each other. And again, like, is the world going to change that much because of one performance at an award show? No, but the idea of, like, working on something and dedicating yourself to something and being proud of it, I miss that feeling of being in that room with people. So I think there's a lot of, like, vicariousness that I find in a lot of the K-pop stuff too, because you get the behind the scenes and seeing them work hard on stuff. So anyway, it's just a great show of artistry. These people are some of the best dancers and performers in the world, and let alone Jennie doing her thing. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna link in the description of this, I guess, the performance of her doing it at the award show, this specific performance that I'm talking about, and then the rehearsal, obviously, which is the one I'm most excited about. And I'll find that quote too. But anyway, this was fun. I had fun doing this. Okay, I hope I can figure out how to edit this Um, cool. I like talking about the things I love, obviously. Why I do this. Cool. All right. I gotta go to bed soon. Have to put all these dishes away. I made dinner. All right. Talk to you later.